Hey guys, it's Paul Pluta back on the Paul Pluta channel doing paid reviews. And this paid review here is for my good friend Dr. Stewart. And Dr. Stewart's been extremely generous guy. He's given me a substantial contribution, and then it's kind of like God. He knew I was stuck for money when I was in Singers, and he sent me a bit more, and I was able to pay my mortgage. Well, pay the rent, sorry, the rent. And I gotta tell you, man, I gotta tell you, he's a really cool guy. I don't want to ask him for anything. He's fucking kind guy. He's a lovely guy, and there's not many people who are that fucking kind in this world. The world is nasty. Very, very cool guy. Anyhow, I want to say for Dr. Stevens, I've added the on the refrigerator here, we've got the Andrew Johnson Golf Club. It's in Greenville, Tennessee. It's on Facebook. AJ Golf Club. There we go. So I've put that on the refrigerator. It didn't quite come out. I went to the color printer, and it's supposed to be white. It kind of fucked it up, but I just put it up there because I've taken a bit of time. I just put it up, and I'll fix it up next week. We'll see what I can do. Anyhow, with my good friend here, I left off some watches. He told me I left off 2 watches. Because I did a review. He had a very interesting Rolex heavy collection, but he also had some extra Rolex, and I just want to add those. I want to talk about those watches there because they were quite nice. They're quite nice watches. So I don't want to forget these because they kind of very important to have there. He's got two additional, and these watches here, it's a Deep Sea, the 126660, which is a fabulous watch. I really love that watch there. That's the biggest, meanest Rolex of all time, and he's also got a 18038, a day date, which I think is a great watch. It's a great watch. Every man needs a president. So I wanted to have a bit of a talk about that and see what did I think there. Well, I gotta tell you, it doesn't change the previous video. I'll put a link in the description there, linking back to that other video there. But I gotta tell you, the Deep Sea, that's the biggest, meanest Rolex of all time. The only thing that comes close is the new Yachtmaster 2, which I'm not a huge fan of, I must say. I'm not a huge fan of. I gotta tell you, the Deep Sea, I think, will be a big collectible because it was the biggest, meanest Rolex ever made. And Rolex realized that it was too big, so they put it on a bit of a diet. And they also introduced the Sea Dweller, which was 43 mils. 40 lost a mil, plus it was skinnier. But I think the Deep Sea itself will be a very good watch to have. It's the biggest, the nastiest. I think it'll be highly collectible. And on a big guy, I think nothing says Rolex like a Deep Sea. Which leads us to the next question. He's also got a beautiful solid gold 18038. The 18038 came out in the late 70s with Quickset. It was the carry over from the 1803, which was the solid gold non-quickset day date in the 70s. It gained a sapphire crystal, and it also gained quickset. Now, it was single quickset. It only quickset the date. It didn't quickset the day of the week. So they tend to be a little bit taller than the replacement, which was the 18238, which was double quickset. I quite like the 18038. I've owned a few of them. I've owned two myself. My first day date was an 18038. And then I owned one a few years ago with a black dial. And I got to tell you, I think the 18038 is a great watch. 36 mil. Is it a bit small? What do I think? Look, I think in a modern context it possibly is a bit small, but it's a great watch to have in a collection. I owned a few presidents. I sold them. They're always good money. They always will sell quite easily. Everybody wants a president. I think a president itself is just a perfect watch. You know, occasionally you go to a tuxedo dinner or function. It's nice to put on a piece of gold, and a beautiful gold bracelet as well. Be a bit formal. I think that it's a really cool piece to have. The day date itself is a legendary watch. I mean, it really was the choice of millionaires in the 70s, 80s, 90s. You weren't anybody till you had a day date. I've always loved the day date. I remember years ago, my first Rolex was a 1016 Explorer 1. If I had unlimited money, what did I want? I wanted the day date on the cover of the catalog. That's what I wanted. I mean, I didn't understand the fact that it was gold, it wouldn't last as long, or I just thought it was absolutely cool. And I got to tell you, you look at many business books, management books or business books, and the guys, 9 times out of 10, they're wearing a day date. Or, like Jack Walsh, he was wearing a Patek. So I got to tell you, I think the 18038 is a great watch. It's a cool watch, and it's a watch with a lot of meaning. So I think it's perfect in any collection. Even though you may not wear it a lot, it is a really cool watch to own. So, my good friend, Dr. Stewart, I want to thank you, man. You're a cool guy. You've been really kind to me. I love you in depth, definitely. I think both of those watches, the Deep Sea and the Day Date, fit perfectly into the context of your collection. I wouldn't be selling them. I honestly think the Deep Sea has got huge potential. That was the biggest, baddest diver Rolex ever made. That's a cool watch. And the Day Date, it's a legendary watch. You aren't somebody till you have a day date. I remember my friend of mine who had an MBA, this was over 20 years ago, he said, you don't get an MBA in sales, you get a day date. Don't get a master's degree in marketing or sales, you get a fucking day date. It's like a musician. He doesn't need a master's degree or a doctorate. Can he play the fucking instrument, or can he perform as an entertainer? That's the test, not a piece of paper. So I want to say, Stephen, thank you. Thank you so much for your super generous contribution. I really love you for it. I really do love you for that. And you got a good heart, man. You're a good man. I'm hoping to improve my financial problems. I got to be totally honest with you, doctor. I really pushed myself to get the the final Patek in my collection. I really pushed. I didn't have the money. I bought a 5196. The guy gave me credit. It's made me a little bit tight. I can tell you now, he sent it to me, and I'd never cheat him. Never cheat him. He's a good guy, and I want to thank you for your very kind contribution to the channel. And that second donation you made fucking helped, man. Fucking helped. I was thinking, how the fuck do I cover this month's housing cost? And it really fucking helped, believe you me. I must say, doctor, I'm actually looking at next year. I'm going to slow down with the buying. I want to reduce my little bit of people I owe a bit of money to. I want to kill that all off and have a bit of saving, because it's pathetic for a grown, middle-aged, overweight white guy like me to be so desperate at times. But let me tell you this, I remember the people who helped me when I was fucking desperate, and believe you me, I was fucking desperate. So I want to thank you. I want to thank you so much there. You're a very good guy. You've got a great heart, and I love you to death. I really love you. So I just want to say thank you, Doc. I'm Paul Pluta. This has been a paid video for a very good dear friend of mine, Dr. Stewart. Please, guys, please enjoy your watches, enjoy life, and remember, wristwatches, if they make you happy, enjoy them. Don't go crazy, just enjoy a few watches, get a happiness out of it. It's the best policy for your health you can buy. Happiness. See you later. I'm Paul Pluta. David SW. David SW. David SW. Who does ArchieLuxury recommend is the greatest grey market dealer in America? There's only one choice, David SW. That's right, guys. I've got to tell you the honest truth. I have for a long time been looking for the perfect answer. Who do I recommend people go to see? Who do I recommend that people can go and buy watches? And I've got to be honest with you. The greatest pre-owned dealer for Rolex, Patek Philippe, Audemars Piguet is David SW. David SW. David SW. DavidSW.com. That's right, guys. I have been looking for a contact who I can very nicely refer people to. I am not in the selling business. Customer service, I'm too old to sell watches. I'm too old. I like to recommend my viewers to a reliable source. In Australia, I've got some great sources. There's Sydney Watch Exchange with Cove, Ronnie at Vintage Watch Co, Shani at European Watch Gallery. And in America, who is the best source for pre-owned Rolex? For all the hot models? There's only one person I would recommend, David SW. David SW, David SW. That is the premier source for pre-owned Rolex. I gotta be completely frank and honest with you. Guys, if you are looking for a hot Rolex model, there is only one place you can go to. David SW. David SW, David SW. Let's be honest, guys, there's no point schmoozing the dealers, the ADs. They're just a waste of time. Unless you're going to buy 20 pieces, you are wasting your time. What you're better off to do is pay the market premium and go to a good pre-owned dealer. Who do I recommend? David S.W. David S.W. David S.W. That's correct, guys. I want to tell you this now. I 100% stand behind David S.W. David S.W., the greatest pre-owned dealer in the entire United States of America. That's right. The greatest pre-owned dealer for Rolex, for Patek Philippe, for Audemars Piguet, David S.W. He even does things like FP Journe. David S.W. David S.W. David S.W. That's right. If you want to buy a pre-owned Rolex, a Patek Philippe, Audemars Piguet, there's only one good source I would recommend. David S.W. David S.W. David S.W. I'm Paul Pluta, the method actor who plays Archibald Chesterfield III, and I'm proud to recommend David S.W. See you later. Thank you for watching this channel.